needs to be ready, and they should have the resources in place to, roll out this kind of, at such a, short period of time, you were expected to roll out online classes among so many children across the border. So this was definitely a challenge. So the first challenge was to, train the teacher at least to the basic level so that they can operate the app through which they can deliver their lesson. So we have gone into phases. We have, of course, initially our first preparedness was to make the teachers at least aware of the app through which they are going to be delivering their online lessons. So initially, of course, the teachers were not very conversant with the idea of the kind of a lesson planning you require for online classes, because there is a slightly differentiation when you talk in terms of a face-to-face classroom situation or in terms of online classes. So definitely initially they started to emulate their physical classrooms only in the online session, but soon they realized that that model is not going to work. So we identified, because when you are working in an online mode, I think the first thing which is very important is student engagement, because student is sitting alone. You have to create some kind of a motivation to the child to attend that session in with his 100% attention. So that is something which is very, very important. So to cater to student attention, what we have done was we tried to train the teacher to create their lessons in such a way they are very interactive in their modalities. So we've used number of apps where they are well driven by feedbacking mechanisms, like things like Peer Deck. We were using in our classroom, so where whatever the teacher is describing, that is emulated to all students' screen. So student responses are coming back to the teacher, so she could give immediately the feedback, and that increase the engagement of the students. So we tried to, figure out, it has been a full year of a learning basically for all of us. So we experimented with various models, and we also, distributed our instructions in such a way that maybe certain instructions which can be done, which need not require, face-to-face instruction, they can be given to the students in terms of their own. They can be self-paced instructions. There could be certain instructions which require face-to-face intervention of the teacher, because there is the explanation involved, and child has to create his or her own perspective, which teacher might have to create, understand, and maybe just give different references to maybe understand whatever the child is learning, whether he or she is giving or representing his or her learning in a right perspective or not. So, division of the instruction in terms of some which can go in form of a self-paced, some where I require face-to-face intervention. So basically, blended learning is actually based on this process where you divide your instructions. Some can go into, in the student pace. So you have to have some place. So LMS could be one of the best solution for that. But most of these apps which schools are using, like Google Classrooms or Microsoft Teams, they are also offering facility for providing instructions which can run in a self-paced manner by the child. Then there could be certain live classes. So this way we've reduced the number of live classes and we could cover the entire syllabi. So that was the kind of insight we have used. It was throughout the year, we've been learning, evolving new models and trying to modify our system to get best out of the children.
Inevitable that the teachers, particularly as we go along, they have to adapt to technology, be it pure classroom teaching or a blended teaching or a digital teaching. As I told, there's changing learning psychologies, and therefore we have to uh, adapt as teachers to inculcate this technology based teaching practices, which can include simulations, game-based learnings, activities, and that's how you keep the interest in them. A very monotonous lecture, it's very difficult to keep the focus and concentration of students for hours and hours together from morning to evening. And research definitely shows that beyond 20 minutes, they tend to stray off a little bit. So I fully agree with what Ms. Kirti had mentioned, that we have to have a very well planned course delivery plan to involve a lot of activity based and keep it very interesting, fun based learning for the students. A major problem that our faculty have actually come across in the online classes is the kind of disconnect with the students. We don't have that face to face because normally in the class, the emotions of the students, the nonverbal communication goes in a very big way to modulate and reach out to the students. And so that was a very big disadvantage to the teachers. The other disadvantage was we really are not sure if the person on the other side is actually listening to you, or he has just logged in and disappeared from that side. There are issues, we should agree, though the majority of them have been very cooperative, going well, but we did have a few of these kind of issues. The best way to tackle all this is to introduce a very fun-based learning, to introduce in between flipped classrooms we had several sessions with the faculty to actually prepare them to accept that the online learning psychology is totally different from a classroom learning psychology. The teachers will have to appreciate that, so that needs a lot of orientation. And having said that, so we requested them to bring in a lot of team-based activities where they can talk to each other in over mobile and then come out with some small outcomes during the class, and also ask questions in specific to each student by name. And therefore, the students are always prepared that it could be their chance in random. And I'm sure every class will design their own methodologies. But I fully agree that bringing in some of very fun-based learning, a lot of simulations is what the students really look for in the classroom, and not the very monotonous repeat of very fundamental concepts which they would be able to read themselves. So it's more the higher order thinking and lateral thinking concepts that the students are really looking for. So if you're able to engage students at that level, I find their level of participation better. So this is a general feedback that we have received, that whenever the teachers are actually talking about fundamental concepts somewhere, the focus is not that very good, but when they're talking about higher order thinking and analytical problem solving skills discussion in the class, the kind of student participation is definitely better.